We would like to invite you to Edge Life's Fargo Holistic Expo, April 26th and 27th. The Holistic Expo will feature keynote speakers Tara Argel, Vincent Jenna, Insia Beckman, Cedric Redfeather, and Gary Quinn. There are also over 70 exhibitors, psychics, and healers. For more information on the Fargo Holistic Expo, go to edgelife.net.
My name is Gary Beckman. I'm the producer of the Edge Life Expos. I'll see you at the event.
How do I really know what my purpose is? Okay, where do I fit in life? Let's talk about intuition. Everybody has thought of something or someone, and they've recognized that it's not an accident. There is divine synchronicity in the world if you start to connect to the right energy. Now, whether you believe in, let's say, the higher power, universal power, let's say God, let's say the power of angels, it doesn't really matter where you plug in, just start to activate a belief system. All right, so intuition is a very strong thing that we all have. But if we start to activate, how can I create more of that feeling of knowing something before it happens, or knowing where to turn or who to call? It's centering yourself, and you can breathe. People don't breathe. If you need to start to just learn how to breathe, breathe with me. Let's take one quick breath. Just breathe and relax. One more time. Breathe and relax. As you bring in that energy, you'll see that intuition is a form of just knowing. Now, however you access this feeling, I want you to really start to feel the energy, because we all have it. We're all very intuitive. So let's look at intuition. Is it by chance that I thought of those things, or is it by chance that I maybe have a feeling that I should call, or I should go to that class, or I should sign up for a workshop? No, it's you're feeling an energy on how you can move in this lifetime, because everything is available to you. We all have the answers inside. I want you to really focus on those 3 points and really look at how we can apply them. And if you need to write them down, write them down. All right, so I want you to really look at, there's so many different ways to get there, and there's no really the right way or the wrong way. It's whatever really fits for you. You know, when we start out in life, we sometimes don't know all the answers, but really we do know the answers. We have all the answers inside. Sometimes we seek guidance or we seek help. And, you know, my friend, this really nice angel, is my friend. I connected to an angel many years ago. Now, whether you believe in angels or not, they're available to you if you apply that same intuition.
We would like to invite you to Edge Life's Fargo Holistic Expo, April 26th and 27th. The Holistic Expo will feature keynote speakers Tara Argel, Vincent Jenna, Insia Beckman, Cedric Redfeather, and Gary Quinn. There are also over 70 exhibitors, psychics, and healers. For more information on the Fargo Holistic Expo, go to edgelife.net.
My name is Gary Beckman. I'm the producer of the Edge Life Expos. I'll see you at the event.
My name is Cedric Redfeather. My Indian name is Apasanamak, which means the Red Feather Man. I'm tribally enrolled on Fort Berthold in North Dakota. I'm a Vietnam vet. I was wounded in Vietnam. I have a Purple Heart, Gallantry Cross. I graduated from Minot State University with a BA in art. I went to school in Santa Fe, New Mexico at the Institute of American Indian Arts. I went to school at Savannah College of Art and Design, which I really love art. My whole life and goal was to be an artist. And I got a scholarship at the University of Memphis to work on my master's degree. And it was while in Memphis working on my master's, the spirit man came to me and he said to me, "You're here to do the work, you're not here to paint." So ever since then I've been doing spiritual work, and it's taken me many places across this country, many people I've met. And it's so exciting about doing the spiritual, because we're all traveling this road. regardless of where we think we're going or who we've been or what religion. We're all journeys and we're all travelers on the same journey. And the more we understand it, we start to recognize and be connected to each individual, that we are all connected. Like, I guess you would call it dots, like little dots put together, we're all connected. And the more you understand that it's easy to love another person, it's almost like common to be generous with another person. And you start to see the difference between light and darkness. You start to see the difference between love and hatred and jealousies and prejudice. And you care for one another. That's my whole goal and my purpose as a turtle priest nowadays. This is the book I have written called Mandan Dreams. And it's a story about my journey of how I got into being a turtle priest, which I didn't want to do in the beginning, which was, it came upon me as the youngest son of a Luptade Mandan to fulfill the prophecies. And this is the story in this book about the Mandans, their history, and some prophecies, and where we're going. The story is about the family, about my brothers. We are 7 brothers who are the dipper in the sky. And I talk about those, and it's in the book. The Fargo Expo, Edge Life Expo in Fargo, it's about metaphysical, holistical health. It's about people being connected. It's about psychics and mediums, tarot card readers, people into matrix energetics. And my point and my purpose of being a part of the expo is I'm a turtle priest, and I'm going to share prophecies with the people. And my talk is going to be about the prophecies. It's going to be about the 7 brothers and the Big Dipper. My family, my mom and dad had 7 boys, and we are the 7 sons of the Big Dipper. We are also connected to the 7 medicine stones. There are 7s in many things in life, in many cultures. For example, in the Bible, they talk about the 7 churches. They talk about, Edgar Casey talks about the 7 ages of a person's spirit and soul. There are 7s in many things in life, 7 dwarfs, there's 7 sisters in the Pedalians, those stars. So I talk about the 7s and the significance of what it means also. Native American spirituality. You cannot label it and categorize it with each tribe, because there are over 500 Native American tribes in the USA. And each tribe has their own way or own protocols or cultures or traditions. And yeah, Native American spirituality is old. It's as old as the stones, old as the rocks, old as the trees. And true Native spirituality is being connected with all things at one time, with all the stars, all the stones, all the animals. When you're connected with them, that's when birds talk to you. That's when animals come up to you. And you can walk up to a deer and pet the deer because you're one with all nature. And being one with all nature, you start to respect it, take care of it. We are the children that dance upon grandmother's back. When we say that when we dance. And we are part of Mother Earth. She accepts us as her children. And the changes that are happening in the world today don't affect us or bother us, because we are her children and she watches us always, as Father Sky watches over us also.
We would like to invite you to Edge Life's Fargo Holistic Expo, April 26th and 27th. The Holistic Expo will feature keynote speakers Vincent Jenna, Insia Beckman, and Gary Quinn. For more information on the Fargo Holistic Expo, go to edgelife.net.
I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And doggone it, people like me.
What you truly believe is in that unconscious part, and your adult defense mechanisms is what stops you from tapping into that.
But the moment we accept that's not real and we get pissed about that and go, oh, I don't want that, I want real love, then that's the time you put the work in to actually have it.
Our self-love begins to break down from the moment we hear the first negative unconscious message that we should not appreciate ourselves. Oh, I went through daily rituals of being beat up, shoved in lockers, thrown in dumpsters, head flushed in the toilet, sexually abused until I was 13 years old. And home life wasn't any safer because I was blessed with the ability to sing and act and dance, and I discovered that very early on as a kid. That's what kept me alive. What did the Zen Buddhist say to the hot dog vendor in New York? Make me one with everything. Do you think the Dalai Lama goes running up to that father and grabs him by the shoulder and says, "Stop beating that kid before I smack you"? He wouldn't do that. I love when that happens. So once you acknowledge and allow yourself to feel what you're meant to feel, you'll disempower the blockage and you'll immediately connect to that greatest source of you, and you can use all your gifts to create the life that you want. I give you the ability to see your magnificence and believe in yourself, so you can use your divinely endowed gifts to create the life and fulfill the dreams you want. And you have to understand that you're not believing what you really think you believe.
Welcome back. Become unstoppable. That is the message from inspirational speaker Vincent Jenna.
Now, Vincent uses his gift as a psychic medium healer to help people find their passion. He's here with us now. So how did you go from being an actor to a psychic healer?
Oh, that's a fabulous story. Mike, when I was younger, I was the one that was tormented either by my peers or at home by mom and dad. I also had the sexual abuse and all of that went on. During my 10-year high school reunion, those kids started to warm up to me, and there was one in particular who was the antagonizer. He was the one that got everybody else to pick on me. Well, he became a really close friend of mine. And at a time of desperation in his life, when we were close, I was trying to help him, and I didn't know how to do that. And it was really a cry for the ability to be able to help people like him, because I knew what it was to be in pain, to hurt. And so it was a Steven Spielberg, Cecil B. DeMille type of movie that happened to me, and I experienced what I learned was a spontaneous awakening. And all these paranormal things started happening to me. Now, at the time, I was a professional actor, okay? All I cared about was getting an Academy Award, a Tony, an Emmy, or something like that, right? So all this spiritual stuff started happening, and things would come into my head, and things I would know, and I was reading people's minds and answering their questions before they would say anything. And then I started seeing dead people, you know. They made the movie from that. But, right? And so this crazy stuff was going on. Now, my wife at the time, she didn't know whether to call the local rabbi, the priest, to have me exorcised, or Bellevue to lock me up, because it just wasn't me. But all this information came to me, and after being directed to the right people, I began to realize that my destiny was about ready to change. Wow. And so I became very motivated to help people.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Your whole presentation is called Stop Stopping Yourself and Become Unstoppable. What is that about?
Right. Okay. Well, Lalonda, here is the major problem that people face in the world today. They do not believe what they think they believe. That is the reason why they can't create the lives they want. Now, there are so many people that are out there that are taking all of these wonderful self-help courses. They're going to these conferences. They're doing all of these lectures, workshops, and yet they keep applying these things, and over again they wind up saying it's not working. Just it's not working. I don't understand why. It's because only 2 to 5% of the human mind is in conscious awareness. That means 95 to 98% of the mind is subconscious and unconscious. There is so much stuff packed in that unconscious part. We're unaware of it. We do not create with our conscious minds. We do not manifest. You said earlier about putting out into the universe and creating. Yes, that does happen. But one of the reasons why it doesn't work for people is because you don't do it with this. You do it with this.
So how do you bring that out in them?
Okay, well, first of all, I have to help them recognize what they're truly believing. So most people are walking the world today. When I was becoming a psychotherapist and I was going to UNC in my undergrad course, I studied a lot about the self in psychology. And you would ask 100 people, are you happy? Are you going after things that, oh yeah, I'm happy. 100 of them would say, oh yeah, absolutely, I'm happy. Then you ask them some deeper questions. Well, okay, so you got everything in your life? No, really, I have no money. What about relationships? Oh, I'm alone. I don't even know how to keep somebody. Forget it.
So they're lying. They're not
yes,
happy.
But they don't know that they're doing that. Way down deep is that I call it your I'm not. Your I'm not that you develop from very early on in your life, okay? I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not this, I'm not that. So you could be going after that job, that relationship, but what's putting out into the universe truly is your I'm not, saying, yeah, I want to go get a person, I want to get this fabulous job, but your I'm not saying, but I don't deserve it, I don't really want it, I don't really like that, that's not me, I don't know who I am. And that's what's stopping everybody. The moment you get them to recognize what their true belief is, it starts to disempower their I'm not. And they recognize, I mean, we BS ourselves every single day of our lives. You know, when we go to work and, you know, everybody's getting up in the morning, okay, I'm going to go to work, this is going to be great. Some people admit to themselves, oh, I can't stand what I'm doing, I don't want to do that.
But a lot of people are just faking it.
They're faking it. They're faking it. And you can't fake that. Fake it till you make it is something completely different. Faking your life isn't, and you're going to be faced with it eventually.
Well, we're out of time, but VinceandJenna.com, and they can get in touch with you and you can be able to help them out. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
That's actually pretty fast.
Our stories, no matter how intense or ordinary, cause us to completely lose track of the most important key ability that allows everything we attempt become reality.
We were created by a higher source, right? The omnipotent power, the force of all there is, love, God, Yahweh, Buddha, whatever we want to call it, we come from something greater than us. In fact, when it created us, it actually divided itself into us. So it cannot separate itself from us. It is always a part of us. Just like when the human egg is fertilized, this is a zygote, and the zygote starts splitting into the 33 billion cells that become us. Each one of the cells carries our DNA. And in that DNA is all of who we are and all of who we're meant to become. Well, it's the same thing when God created us. When He divided Himself, we got His DNA, its DNA, okay? And in its DNA is all of who we are, and it is. And that is attached to us forever, which means all of the wonderful things that go along with that, all abundance, all happiness, all joy, all prosperity, comes along with that inherently. So each one of us, just as we have the ability to take one of our human cells and pull the DNA from it and create a completely new being, we have the ability to use God's DNA to create the life we want. So if we're not, and if we're saying, God, it's not working, that means we're doing something wrong or something is missing. Let me see if I can explain this to you a little differently. When you want to bake a cake, and you gather some of the best ingredients, and you use the finest Rachel Ray utensils and mixing bowls to put it all together, and you pour it into a Pampered Chef expensive pan, and you stick it into the most expensive Jenn-Air oven, unless you've done the most important thing first, you will never get those ingredients to turn into a cake. What is the first line of directions in any recipe on baking a cake? Preheat the oven. You have to preheat the oven to let it get hot, so by the time you apply and put in the ingredients, it processes those ingredients into the cake that you want. So, if you are not living the life you want, or if you're attempting and keep hitting stumbling blocks, then you are missing or you've lost track of a process.
We would like to invite you to Edge Life's Fargo Holistic Expo, April 26th and 27th. The Holistic Expo will feature keynote speakers Vincent Jenna, Insia Beckman, and Gary Quinn. For more information on the Fargo Holistic Expo, go to edgelife.net.
My name is Insia Beckman. My website is insia.com. I'm a spiritual teacher, a minister, a healer. I do Reiki work. I do channel readings together with intuitive readings. In addition to that, I also do healings. I channel the healings. Plus, I'm a Reiki master.
And Insia is going to bless us with a meditation. So Insia, would you like to come up and do a meditation? I'm honored. We're honored to have her. She's an amazing woman.
I just love this guy. He's a ball of love. Anyway, let's do a beautiful meditation. James did a fantastic one, which was absolutely magic. I want you to visualize the light of God, the central sun, God, Goddess, all the E's, which is 1,000,000,000 billion trillion times brighter than the physical sun. And see this magnificent, magnificent golden light pouring in through your crown chakra, immersing your whole being, your every cell, your every tissue, your every atom in your body. And see this magnificent golden light going down through your feet, right into the center of the earth, immersing Mother Earth, saturating her body with this magnificent love. And then see this golden light come up through your feet again to your heart, and see it expanding. See your heart and expanding with this magnificent golden light, pouring out to everything and everybody, into all life around you, and to one another, to each one of you. See the love immersing your whole being and immersing everyone in this hall, and then spread it out to the whole planet and to all humanity. So we become this one big, magnificent ball of love. Stay in this for a few minutes. Feel it, experience it, and become the love that you are and the gods that you are. Because God is love, and you are love. We are all love. Become part of the oneness, the one God. Become part of the one. And you are loved, loved more than the word love, endlessly and limitlessly. You're never alone, you're always loved, and believe that. God bless you. Thank you for being here. We would welcome each one of you to come to the expo. In addition to us, there are many, many magnificent speakers, beautiful speakers with excellent talents, speakers that have phenomenal gifts, speakers that have written several books where you can have excellent knowledge from them, knowledge to expand you for your growth, for your expansion, for your enlightenment, for your divine knowing, for your divine wisdom, and most of all, to know who you are and to bring you to your full consciousness and to bring you to your personal truth. We would welcome each one of you. Please come to the expo and enjoy this wonderful, wonderful weekend trip of expansion, of enlightenment, of growth, and to find out the real you, the God you, the divine you, and the love that you are. Because it's all about love in this new consciousness. It's all about your divinity. It's all about the God self that you are, and of course, the love that you are.
We would like to invite you to Edge Life's Fargo Holistic Expo, April 26th and 27th. The Holistic Expo will feature keynote speakers Vincent Jenna, Insia Beckman, and Gary Quinn. For more information on the Fargo Holistic Expo, go to edgelife.net.
How do I really know what my purpose is? Okay, where do I fit in life? Let's talk about intuition. Everybody has thought of something or someone, and they've recognized that it's not an accident. There is divine synchronicity in the world if you start to connect to the right energy. Now, whether you believe in, let's say, the higher power, universal power, let's say God, let's say the power of angels, it doesn't really matter where you plug in, just start to activate a belief system. All right, so intuition is a very strong thing that we all have. But if we start to activate, how can I create more of that feeling of knowing something before it happens, or knowing where to turn or who to call? It's centering yourself, and you can breathe. People don't breathe. If you need to start to just learn how to breathe, breathe with me. Let's take one quick breath. Just breathe and relax. One more time. Breathe and relax. As you bring in that energy, you'll see that intuition is a form of just knowing. Now, however you access this feeling, I want you to really start to feel the energy, because we all have it. We're all very intuitive. So let's look at intuition. Is it by chance that I thought of those things, or is it by chance that I maybe have a feeling that I should call, or I should go to that class, or I should sign up for a workshop? No, it's you're feeling an energy on how you can move in this lifetime, because everything is available to you. We all have the answers inside. I want you to really focus on those 3 points and really look at how we can apply them. And if you need to write them down, write them down. All right, so I want you to really look at, there's so many different ways to get there. And there's no really the right way or the wrong way. It's whatever really fits for you. You know, when we start out in life, we sometimes don't know all the answers. But really, we do know the answers. We have all the answers inside. Sometimes we seek guidance or we seek help. And, you know, my friend, this really nice angel, is my friend. I connected to an angel many years ago. Now, whether you believe in angels or not, they're available to you if you apply that same intuition.
We would like to invite you to Edge Life's Fargo Holistic Expo, April 26th and 27th. The Holistic Expo will feature keynote speakers Tara Argel, Vincent Jenna, Insia Beckman, Cedric Redfeather, and Gary Quinn. There are also over 70 exhibitors, psychics, and healers. For more information on the Fargo Holistic Expo, go to edgelife.net.
My name is Gary Beckman. I'm the producer of the Edge Life Expos. I'll see you at the event.